Hey, what's going on? This is Phil Jackson, host of Side B TV, being brought to you on the Boombox Union channel. Please go back and hit that like and subscribe button. Shout out to my man Jerry out there. He put this whole interview together for me. He got these brothers coming up here talking about their new project out right now called Supreme. Grand Official is going to be joining me in a couple minutes. But first, I have a new video. Shout out to my man Jus Daze. He just sent this to me. Exclusive video here on Side B TV. It's called Queens. I played the song on my shows, so if you got to see the video. I'm telling you right now, it's a dope video. Shout out to Jus Daze out there. So sit back, relax, watch the video. Then we're gonna come back with Grand Official promoting their new album out right now called Supreme. Stay tuned.
Yo.
Just a little loving.
The 7 train by Shea Stadium, City Field tailgate felt like the Palladium. The Coliseum, Jamaica Ave, that's where we're taking them. Queens bullied by the mall, big or small, we're shaking them. Queens, the borough between Brooklyn and Manhattan. The Bronx, LI, an hour away from Staten. That New York state of mind, Nas, LP classic. That shook ones, Mobb Deep, Prodigy, and Havoc. Akinelli, Nori hosting drink champs. Nicki Minaj, pink print, dressed in pink pants. LL and a Tribe Called Quest. 50 Cent, Consequence, Onyx, Sailor, Bar Mega, Large Professor, Jus Daze, Mike Geronimo, Roxanne, Shantae. Rest in peace, Fight Dog and JMJ. Chinks Drug, Stack Bundles, Peace Far Rockaway. MC Shan, Ja Rule, Pharoah Monch, Marley Marl, Russell Simmons, and the names go on. Action Bronson, the Beat Nuts, and Mr. Cheeks, Black Sheep, Craig Jeep, Tragedy, Gaddafi, Can I Bust, and Father MC. Royal Flush, Queensboro Breach, the best MC. Woodside, Howard Beach, Flushing, and Corona. We're Haven, Far Rockaway, Glen Oaks, Astoria. Elmhurst, Ridge with Laurels in Jamaica. Forest Hill, Jackson Heights, anywhere I take ya. It's gonna be full of culture and full of flavor. Cause in Queens, we feel like the whole world is our neighbor. Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast. Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go.
Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast.
It's the queen of shit, #1 borough. For the queens, yeah, you know who we are.
Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast.
It's the queen of shit, #1 borough. For the queens, yeah, you know who we are. Just a little loving.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Del P. You're now tuned in to Side B TV with my brother Phil Jackson. Make sure y'all tune in. Hip Hop lives.
That's that boom bap killer Supreme.
We're back. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like I said before, this is Side B TV being brought to you on the Boombox Union channel. Please go back and hit that like and subscribe button. Shout out to my man DJ Soulbuck out there. We got so many guests that's coming up, man. You know, big up to all the guests that we have had on in the past shows, man. It's gonna keep getting better. But I got a special guest. I got 2 special guests. And shout out to my man Jerry out there, super publicist Jerry out there. You know, like he's really heating up, you know, in the hip hop culture, man. I mean, you know, he has like a dope group of artists, MCs underneath, you know, that he's not managing, but like he's helped like managing their career right now, just, you know, promoting them and just getting them on the right track. So shout out to my man Jerry out there. So without further ado, I have these brothers. They come from California. They have a song out right now called Supreme. Well, they have an album out now called Supreme, and it's so dope. I've been playing them on Side B Radio, and I've been playing them on Splash 98.5 FM. And you know, I wanna bring up to the stage right now Dose and Grip, and they come from California, and they make up Grand Official. What's going on, guys?
Yo,
What's up, man? How you doing?
What up?
Nothing. Hey, everything's good, man. Hey, look, thank you for coming on because I know the time difference is a little bit different, out in California right now. But just thank you for coming on. Like I said before, shout out to Jerry, for setting this up. But I want to start off because you guys are from California. I read your bio, but just give my audience just a brief background on where you guys from and how you guys started.
Well, we started in a city called Pico Rivera, which is part of Los Angeles County. So we're probably like 10 minutes out from downtown LA. You know what I mean? Something like that. But yeah, that's where we started. And we met up originally through what was it? Like B-Boy Summit? B-Boy Summit. Yeah.
Okay.
B-Boy Summit out in San Diego. And we linked up there, and we've been rocking ever since.
Okay, so I like to ask my audience, my guests. I don't like to ask them like we know who influenced you in hip hop. How did you get started? But just outside of hip hop, what are some of your musical influences and grip? Because you're a producer, so I want to start with you first. So, like, who were some of your musical your inspirations? It doesn't have to be hip hop, but like some of your musical inspirations that you wanted to become a producer.
You know what? Well, even though it has to be hip hop because for me, I come from a b-boy background.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all breaks for me. Apache, the Mexican, things like that, and then. And I heard My Philosophy by KRS. Like, just the grittiness of that, but like the brilliance of his lyrics, just made me want to more get into making music. When I heard that, when I heard My Philosophy, but when I got into that, of course, that takes you down the rabbit hole, and then I'm a big Gang Starr fan. Pete Rock, CL Smooth, Large Professor. Man, there's so many, but the producers from the 90s just got me, so that's why I started.
I'm glad that you said Premier, because the one song on the album, Better Recognize, I swore that was a Premier production.
That's a hell of a compliment.
I swore it was. And that just goes to show that you're in this culture, but you're still a student of the game, which is absolutely incredible. Because that's why I like guys like yourselves, because even though that you've been doing this for a long time, you're still students and fans of the culture. And like that song, Better Recognize, I swore, I was like, I said, when did Premier do this? You know what I'm saying? But much respect to you. Oh yeah, much respect to you, brother. Now, Dose, like, who are some of your musical influences?
Well, I mean, hip hop wise, it would probably be Guru from Gang Starr, or big fan. But yeah, I mean, Pharoah Monch is really big influence on me. I really I love Pharoah Monch, and Raz Kaz, Rakim, Black Thought. Those are definitely. I mean, I guess outside of hip hop, I don't know. I'm a big Stevie Wonder fan. I think just Stevie Wonder with the pen is amazing. I mean, you listen to Az and you're like, what was he thinking? Like, it's out there. I love that. But yeah, hip hop wise, I mean, I think when I heard I Ain't No Joke, that's what kind of got me like, yo, what? And started following along with Eric B and Rakim, and from Don't Sweat the Technique or Juice Know the Ledge, and just like I noticed, like, okay, so I love Cypress Hill, right? Who doesn't love Cypress Hill? But I remember listening when Cypress Hill came out, I Could Just Kill a Man, and then I remember Juice Know the Ledge that came out around the same time, 91, right? And no disrespect to Cypress Hill at all, but like I loved hearing them, and then I heard Juice Know the Ledge, and I started listening, like, wait a second, like Rakim is getting really intricate here compared to this, you know what I mean? Again, no disrespect to be real. But like I was like, yo, there's like a difference here, So I started like wanting to hear more lyricism like that, and that led me down to other artists, like obviously Nas or Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane.
Look, when Know the Ledge came out, that was on the soundtrack of Juice, correct?
Yeah, Juice soundtrack. Cypress Hill's on that too, by the way.
Yeah, man. Oh my God,
shoot 'em up.
Shoot 'em
Shoot 'em
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yo,
Oh
shoot 'em
my
up,
God.
yo.
You know, how can I just kill a man? You know, when Q and
Well, the energy on this
Tupac.
record
Oh my God, that is a classic scene right there. But
made you want to go rob somebody or something.
you know,
I'm saying I did. I'm just
no, but you know what though? You're absolutely right. No, you're
like you hear
absolutely
MOP,
right.
it's like, man, I gotta do something right now.
Right. So, you know, and I'm glad that you said, excuse me, that you know, Rakim and you know, Big Daddy Kane and
Yeah, oh,
you know,
man.
just going back to, you know, just the Juice era. That's why I call it the Juice era because
Yeah.
that era was just so crazy, man. It was so creative. That soundtrack was absolutely
Oh, I love that soundtrack, man.
oh,
I think it's too short on that too, right?
you know what? I'm not even for sure. But
MC
you know what?
Pooh
Let
was
me
like
go.
some random people on that, yo.
Let me go back. What is your all-time? I want to ask Grip and Dose. What is your all-time soundtrack, hip-hop soundtrack?
Ooh, Soul in the Hole was pretty
Yeah,
nice.
that was really good.
Yeah.
The show had some good bangers on there. I don't know. I mean, you might have to go choose.
This is a good one.
Man,
You know
that's
my
tough, man.
You know what my favorite one was?
What was yours?
Juice is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, right.
New Jersey Drive.
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. It had what you call it with Jeru.
Yo.
What was that? I can't believe I forgot that track. And it's on his album too. It's on the second album.
But wasn't that a great time to be a part of hip hop?
Oh
yeah.
man, yo.
Even if you weren't directly involved with hip hop, like being like an artist or a DJ, but just that whole 90s feeling, like, because I was a fan. I'm still a fan of hip hop right now, but but I wasn't doing radio per se with what I'm doing right now.
Right.
But it was just a great feeling, man.
Yeah, you could feel like I mean, even out here in the West, like, you know, we used to go hit up Tower Records or wherever, you know, Sam Goody or whatever, and you were like, you had to choose. Like, yo, what do I cop? This tape? You know what I mean? This record? Like, I don't even know what to, like, you only had a certain amount of money. You got a budget, you know? And it's like, there was so much to choose from.
Every Tuesday, a new album would drop.
Yeah, a new album would drop.
Oh, man, it was so crazy.
Bro. We were there like, yo, what the fuck? Like, do we buy the Equinox or do we buy Reasonable Doubt? Like, it's like, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
And it was such a there's all these variations. Like, you can go, you know,
you got maxi singles,
B-sides,
oh
man, remixes.
Oh, it was a great feeling, man. I mean, and to be honest, I think that feeling would never be duplicated again. I don't think it would.
I agree, but I do feel like a part of that feeling has come back. And I feel like, you know, and you're right. It'll never be like that. But there's like a quarter of it moving right now.
Right.
You know that's what
you're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right. Now,
and it might be because of our out. No.
Now, Grand Official. Now, how many are in the group? Because DJ Hallucinate, he's not with us right now, correct?
That's true. Yeah, he's not here. But yeah, he's well, the original three were us. It was Grip making beats, myself, Ramen, and obviously DJ Hallucinate on the cuts. And we also had my man Ad Life. Shout out to Ad Life. Yeah.
Okay.
He was a fellow MC and then dope MC, and we had A1 or More One, and he was a producer as well. And shout out to him. They're both doing their own thing. They're both you know, they're rocking some dope shit right now. And we also have Fiend, which is another MC. He's been rolling with us for day one. And then it's kind of like I'll compare us to kind of like the Gangstar Foundation. You know what I mean? We kind of have like
I like that.
three, the Nutcracker and, you know, group home. Like it's kind of like that, but obviously, you know. And big fat shout out to Jimmy Muna. He's the one that you know, he recorded, mixed and mastered our whole album, and he's basically in our crew too, man. He's our what is it, Bob Power or whatever from the tribe shit, you know.
Now,
Eddie Sancho.
There you go. Yeah.
Now, was it easy to form Grand Official because you guys all grew up together? So, like, how did all you guys come into as a group? You know, were you doing solo things at first, and then so hey, look, if we just put all our resources together, we might have something here. So like when did like how did Grand Official form?
So in the early '90s, we used to be a crew called the Seven Chemists.
Okay.
There's an artist named Dios Nagasi from Reagan era, and Skrill Dior, which was Jigsaw and Gemini at the time. There was 7 of us, and we used to all freestyle battle, but we were young, so we never got to hit the studio. We never got to do those type of things. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We all went our separate ways, but me, Dose, and Hallucinate stuck together, and in 2003 we started Grand Official.
Okay.
So there was a time we were like just freestyling, DJing, having fun, b-boying, graph. And when we got to 2003, that's when we were like, we got to make songs. We got to try to aim for classic. We got to put everything together.
Yeah, I think a lot of what we're doing, like we ended up doing different things in life and trying to, got ourselves back together and decided like, hey, like we feel like there's not enough music that we like to listen to. We need to start making the music that we like to listen to.
Absolutely. Now, you said you formed the group in 2003, correct? Now, that time in hip hop was
2003.
Yeah, 2003. Now, that time in hip hop drastically changed. It went from college radio, underground shows, mix shows to mainstream, on commercial radio, only 8 songs being played each hour. So did that kind of deter you guys because of the style of hip hop that you were doing? Did that deter you from actually making Grand Official, making your style of music?
It had the opposite. We since we grew up in the 90s, we were like, we want that sound.
Right.
We want to hear that sound. We want to listen to that sound. I mean, you want to play Annie Up. You want more Annie Up once you hear Annie Up. You want to hear more, I don't know, what's another, like,
the Moment of Truth
album. Yeah, Moment of Truth album.
Yeah.
Or, you want another Mass Appeal. Like, you want more of that. And, we're hip hop heads, so we wanted it. So we're like, let's create it. We believed in ourselves and felt like, we can do this. Like, let's do this,
And even in the 90s, when hip hop was at its best for us, we were still going against the grain from where we come from.
Okay.
Yeah, out here in the West, for us, we got called the East Coast a lot because we rocked Tim's, and we got called LL Cool J, and all these West Side Connection was popping. You know what I mean? There was a lot of we were going against the grain, but we didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, West Coast hip hop, I understand that.
Yeah.
King T, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre. I understand that.
Right.
But the underground scene in West Coast hip hop was truly amazing. And shout out to the Wake Up Show because they actually put us on to a lot of stuff on the East Coast. And that's where I heard Feel the Agony. That's where I heard Planet Asia. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, or you know what? I thought Planet Asia was from the East Coast, and we come to find out he's from the West Coast. But like the West Coast, especially back then, even now, their underground scene is truly amazing, man. Real quick, just to fast forward a little bit, like talking about the underground, we're talking about the hip hop scene in the West Coast. Who should we, besides Grand Official, because we're checking out Grand Official, like who else like out there like that we probably don't know that, hey, look, Phil, you need to start playing his music. You need to, get tuned to what he's doing. Is there any artists out there that I'm missing right now?
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you're on. Are you on that Reagan era?
No, and I was about to ask you. And that's my next question too. But okay,
well, we're real tight with Reagan era, and you need to peep out. Man, Reagan era is really dope. Really dope. But peep them out.
So they're on the album on By Any Means,
By Any Means,
and on Infrared.
And then Wolves. Dios is on Wolves with me.
Okay.
But man, Reagan era. I mean, they're rocking some dope shit. I think you
100%.
Yeah. a little
Okay.
different sound than us, but they're really dope. Really, really dope.
So did that kind of deter you guys? Because a lot of people thought that, oh, you guys are from the East Coast or whatever. You're doing the Chims and you're doing, from and y'all in LA. So like, did that kind of deter you? It's like, maybe we shouldn't do this, or maybe like, did that really deter you guys?
Now, you know what? Well, like meeting Grip, I kind of used to keep to myself, and I used to like
Okay.
write here and there, and I wouldn't say. But Grip was more like, nah, fuck that, And I think he had more
Mm,
of a b-boy mentality, like
okay.
where you just wanna do better than the next man, or be more original than the next man. So when
Gotcha.
b-boying against each other, like at that time, I didn't really have a b-boy mentality. I was just
Okay.
writing, and I was a hip hop fan.
Mm,
But when like I learned that from Grip, so it was like a real eye opener. Like, yeah, man, fuck these motherfuckers. Like, who the fuck are they? You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm still from the West. You know what I mean?
right.
I'll
We
rep
know where
LA.
we come from.
Yeah, I love the West, but man, we were always real skill based, whether it was graffiti
Mm,
or whatever, and I think that's what made us gravitate towards the sound that we wanted. It was skill based. Whether you're a b-boy and you're doing graffiti, you're a DJ,
mm.
you're emceeing. Like, where's your skills at? Bring your skill level up. And that was very, very important to both of us.
Gotcha. How did you get the name Grand Official?
That was Grip.
You know what? Just with different things, from coming from different graffiti crews and b-boy crews, it's the way we like, we write the names, the letters, what it means.
Mm,
Just grand being something special, something being bigger than life in my eyes, and then, just officially here. You know what I mean? It's just how we looked at it. No, it wasn't a big science thing. It's just we just it just, to me, it sounds very established.
okay.
And it looks
Now,
good hit up on a wall.
It does look good on the wall.
right, yeah. Now, like, you guys talk about one of the elements, you brought up like twice, the one of the elements, graffiti. How important, especially in the LA scene, is graffiti to a b-boy?
Graffiti's important to us just because all four elements were important to us.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people get caught on it's just music, or it's just graffiti, or it's just this when that's your element.
Mhm.
But to us, we back in the day, we used to look at Rocksteady, Zulu Nation, things like that. So the crews that we had all four elements. They had b-boys, they had DJs and graffiti writers, and then graffiti's, it's a big staple in the West. There's so many bombers and so many talented artists from different crews, SCP, UTI, TGO. Our brother Hex One from FX crew and TGO. There's just skill. There's so many dope writers and pioneers that made their mark in LA, that inspired us just like the music did. So as much as we like hip hop music, we love graffiti because it was coming up at the same time, from the 80s and
Gotcha.
really polished off in the 90s. And
Yeah, I mean, I think too, like, we just all associated with each other. It wasn't like, oh, it's just rhyming or it's just
Mhm.
music. It was like, nah, it all combined to
culture.
us. Yeah, it was the culture, and
Gotcha.
I think that maybe that's lacking now, but I mean, for us, it never separated. To us,
Right.
it all combined.
it's our life.
Like Voltron.
It's a lifestyle,
Now this is a stupid question because I come from the East Coast. Now
Yeah.
I know the gang culture is very heavy out there,
Yeah.
in the West. Now, was there ever a misconception about your tagging and people actually mistake that as gang affiliation?
Well, it's a little different out here. The
Okay,
politics or street politics, I guess you would say, are
gotcha.
different. So if you were a tagger, you kind of had to like watch yourself because I would say the gangs out here didn't fuck with the taggers. Like that was the green light. What I
Okay.
mean? You're getting green light. Like that was on site. But
Mm,
as far as like graffiti artists, they get certain walls. They can do their own thing. It's kind
okay.
of a separate thing. The gang shit out here is the gang shit. So you kind of have to be in that to really fuck with that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I get it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
We separated ourselves from that easily because we were more graffiti heads. We weren't fucking with other shit like that.
Got you. Now I want to talk about Reagan era because like when I was reading the bio and I saw the name, I was like, that is a dope ass name right there, and it caught it caught my eye. So like, tell me about the Reagan era real quick.
Oh, real dope, man. We so two of the cats from Reagan era, like Grip was saying earlier, we all used to be part of a crew. So we were real tight back then, and we had kind of a falling out. I mean, nothing major, you know. We were young, kid shit. Yeah, you know, this shit happens. But through I mentioned earlier, Jimmy Muna, the engineer, he hooked us back up. What was that, like 5 years ago or something like that? Yeah. And yeah, right away we connected again, and it's like we fucking never left. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, and then you know, they were showing us our their music, and then we showed them our music, and we're like, yo, we need to connect again.
There were so many years in between, and their first feature they used Billy Dan's. The same year we used Fame.
We didn't even know. We didn't even know. So I mean, that's what was like, yo, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like,
Right. No, that's what's up, man. Look, if you guys can, please link me with Reagan Air, and I'll start playing their music.
Oh,
definitely.
100%. Yeah, no, for sure.
Definitely, because I mean, like with a name like that, it's like I ain't got to hear the damn music. I already know it's gonna be dope. Because of the name itself. You know what I mean? Because look, you know, we all lived. Us three, we lived through the Reagan era, so like, I get it. So that's dope, man. But you know, just fast forward because you know, in your bio it said it took you 7 years to complete the project. Now, was that because everybody was doing the solo thing, and then you wanted to come back? Because I know I did read that, you know, some songs had leaked. Now, like as an artist, because see, some artists like that and some artists don't like that. So, like, I don't expect you to say, well, you know, tell me how, you know, it leaked. It just leaked. I mean, but as an artist, like, how frustrating is that for you that you're trying to create art and it just gets leaked out?
I mean, it's a double-edged sword. You know, there's certain things that you may not want to come out, but you know, sometimes it's a good thing. You know, and I think on our part, like, well, more so my part, like, we had several variations of the album that were gonna come out, and like last second, I was like, nah, I don't know, this ain't it, that ain't it. So I mean, but at the same time, like, if you don't put anything out, then how the fuck who are you making music for? But just yourself? You know, I mean, yeah, you making music for yourself, but you're also making music for the hip hop community in general. You know,
a positive thing that had happened, and it wasn't the leak from the songs from the album, but songs before the album had came out, and you know,
Chuck the Primo and
Chuck D played one of our singles coming out and talked about us a little bit. So that was, you know, that was really cool. The other song got played by Live from Headquarters from Primo.
Yeah, Primo spun our shit. So
those were things we weren't really sure about, but they came out and it did something positive for us.
Yeah.
How do you think they got the records? But I guess it really don't care.
A friend of ours sent him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was that Chuck D acknowledging, you know, one of your songs and then, you know, Grip, you know, you being a DJ Premier fan, how was that feeling when the legends are co-signing what you're doing right now?
To be honest with you, it's like, man, I think I'm on the right track, because you know, you're always unsure about yourself. You're always trying harder than the next beat you make. You're trying to make it even better, you know. And I don't think that'll ever go away. But that showed me that at least the music we're making is getting the attention of the people, you know, that we were inspired by.
Yeah,
you know. So
no, that's what's up.
So that we're on the right track.
Now, fast forward. The new album that's out right now. Shout out to Jerry. He sent it to me. It's called Supreme. It's out right now. Please go out and support that. Real quick, I love the album cover. Who created that album cover, and why is Supreme upside down?
Okay,
I want to ask you that.
I don't know. We separately thought of that. Like I mentioned it to Grip, and Grip was like, "Yo, I was thinking the same shit." I don't know. It's something about it being upside down that was really like calling us.
At first, we were gonna put the whole album cover upside down.
Yeah, we thought about doing that.
That would have been dope.
Like, yeah, but I don't know, man. You just want to be different, I guess. I don't know. You know what I mean? We wanted to be like make it a little unique more than other things.
Who came up with the name Supreme? Like, is it just like, hey, let's just call it Supreme?
That was dope.
Yeah, I came up with the name Supreme just because I feel like Supreme is like the biggest, the best, and I feel like this was our. I think this is in the Bible. It was our best foot forward. Like this was us at our best, which is also why like it took so long to come out because there was other tracks that we did and we liked them, but I just feel like it wasn't cohesive enough. I mean, I came up with every excuse in the book, but we finally, we finally released it. But yeah, I just felt like Supreme because this was us like on our shit, on top of our shit.
Hey, look, man, I love the album.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have collabs with MOP, you have Razkaz, you have KRS One, you have production by DJ Skiz and Beat Miners. I mean, it's like it's jam packed. I mean, if you're a true hip hop head, you're gonna love this album. I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite songs up there. Well, I like Better Recognize. I love that song, and I love King. I love King.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
So how was it getting production by Beat Miners?
Well, we had listened to a few different beats, and like we kind of do things all together. Especially me and Grip will sit down and we'll go through like whatever we're gonna work on and kind of go back and forth. Like, yo, this is like, for instance, like for Greed was Grip's concept, and he kind of had something of a hook, and then I mean, which is an MC's dream. Like here's a beat, and here's a concept, and here's somewhat of a hook, and I was like, shit, dude, that's all I needed right there, But with Kings, we sat down and we listened to a few different Mr. Walt's beats, and it was like, Grip was like, oh, I like this, and I chose that one, and it kind of went against the grain of what everyone thought we would do, but I don't know, just something about that beat called me, and so I
constructed that shit.
Yeah, I wrote the hook, and then we had my man JR from the Philippines who sang on it, and yeah, man, so it was just but yeah, thank you. I mean, Kings is that's one of the ones for me. I love the whole album. Don't get me wrong, but
well, yeah, and I love the whole album, man. And another song, Respect with KRS. Well, how did that collab come up, man? Because I mean, like I said, you have Legends co-signed to you now, and now you have an opportunity to work with the Legends. So how was that? Just working with KRS One.
So originally, I don't know if it's, but like we were trying to get Inspector Deck on the track. So that's who we were shooting for, and Be Original from Boo Bap Studios. Shout out to Be Original. He I guess he DJ'd for KRS a couple of times, and he was he had him in the studio, and we were able to. And if you work with KRS, it's a lengthy process. He wants to hear
the last 3 tracks you produce.
Yeah.
Or
really?
Yeah. Well, at least that's what it took for us.
Yeah.
He wanted to hear the last 3 joints that were actually put out.
Yeah.
Don't pick from them the last 3. So we sent them. We did pros and cons.
A few joints.
The Don, something else, and we shot him. We shot him to him because I was shopping beats to him at that time.
Okay.
And then B was actually recording them, so he got to hear the joints and everything. Got back to us. Said he'd do it. He was in Atlantic City at the time. This is during COVID, and he actually wrote 2 verses to the beat, and he let us choose from the 2 verses which one we were going to put on the album.
I don't know, when KRS sent you 2 different verses to choose from, it's like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
No, that's what's up.
Yeah. So we chose one, and then B put it together. Got KRS, and then it all went from there. It was just a blessing, really.
And you actually have Razkaz. Now, how was that? Because he's a West Coast legend. So how was that, getting him on the album?
Oh man, Razzcast has been one of our favorites. I mean, I remember us chilling, listening to the Wake Up Show and hearing the Soul and Ice remix for the first time. And we were in Grip's ride, or these young motherfuckers listening to this shit, and came on. We just all stopped, like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, yo, yeah, Razzcast is one of our favorites. So to get him was just like
way ahead of his time.
Yeah, and
let me just add. Yeah. We were at the end of the album. We had already finished the album, and we felt like it needed something else. And a good friend, Pex, that is friends
shout out to Pex,
to Raz, hit me up, and it was just perfect timing. I hit him up about Raz, and he linked us up, and it completed the album.
And Razzcast is a cool motherfucker. Like,
yeah,
he's a real one.
No doubt.
No doubt. Yeah, for
Salute
sure.
the Razzcast out there. Now, the title track, Supreme.
Yeah.
I love that. You know what?
Yeah,
I think you know what, man? It's almost like every week I'm like, damn, what am I gonna play? I said, okay, well, I done played the shit out of King. I done played Respect so many. So I said, you know what? Let me play Supreme. And I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
like this is like so tell me about the title track and who, and let my audience know who's up there.
You want to?
Oh yeah, so we had did Pros and Cons that's not on the album.
Yeah.
Okay.
First time we worked with Fame. Our friend A1 was in communication with him and hit us up, and we did Pros and Cons. Fame liked the way it went, and he hit us up and asked if there's anybody else that we could link us up with. We asked for Teflon.
Grip asked for Teflon.
I asked for Teflon. We were Teflon fans, and he got Teflon on the joint. Ad Life's on the joint as well.
Yeah.
With Fame, and it was just like the perfect. It was like the perfect track after Pros and Cons. We learned a lot on Pros and Cons, I felt. And then Dose, constructed one of my beats, the way it starts and everything, for Supreme. And we did that, and then I think that escalated into the joint fire.
Yeah, we're really weary about the way the cuts would come out, because we use the KRS cuts and then we use the Dre cut, and we're
right.
I don't know if this is all gonna, and it was just like, fuck it, let's do it. And yeah, we really like the way. That's probably one of our favorite joints, especially, it's like a little posse cut at the same time, but the feel of it, it's like dark, but we
kind of built everything around Supreme.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So like what is because in a group, what is the process of making a record within a group? Like, is the beat, or is it the lyrics, or or the DJ? Yo, I have an idea for a scratch, and he lets you guys hear a scratch, and it's like, wait a minute, we could construct a song around this. Like, with the group Grand Official, how do you construct songs, or is it just whatever anybody's feeling at one particular time?
Well, I mean, with Grip, he'll make all these different beats, and it's kind of like, it's hard not to pick some. Do you know what I mean? So it's, you have to be kind of selective, like, yo, will this be cohesive with this? Well, I'm talking about the album in general, so there's a lot of stuff that I haven't done or didn't do, and it's like, yo, that's a really dope beat. It just so happened that we wanted it to be more like Supreme. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, we need to fit it into Supreme. But yeah, as far as like the process goes, like Grip will have an idea, or I'll have an idea, and then we'll just go back and forth. I mean, it's a pretty, we kind of keep each other on our toes. We really want to make the best possible track that we can. So, and as far as cuts goes, for the most part, we'll think of cuts, and then Hallucinate comes in, and he'll have his ideas for the cuts, and then he knocks it out like a sniper. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a hired hitman. He just comes in, like, just fucking shit up, just like killing it. And we're like, all right, okay. Yo,
his cuts on Better Recognize,
yeah, nice.
Cold, bro.
Fire. Listen to
Those
Fire.
cuts are cold, yeah.
Fire. Listen to that. The end of Fire. Listen to
Okay.
that. Yo, man. Hallucinate was in his
He went
bag.
off- he went
We
off
were
on
like, whoo, man. Like, yo, in the studio, we're like,
Yeah.
Hey, look,
listening to it loud because our shit is meant to be played loud as fuck. And we were like, yo,
Jerry was like, "Yo, I'm gonna send you the album and let me know what you think." And so I text him back with just fire emojis. I'm like, I'm playing this, bro. Come on, see, I'm
thank you,
playing
brother.
this.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
know what I mean? But I like you guys, and I want to ask you the state of hip hop. Now, you like being like that lane that you're in. Like, give me your thoughts on like how do you feel hip hop is going right now? Because some people, I don't like it. Some people are like, nah, it's great because it's more avenues. Because, like I said, because 2003,
Yeah, that was rough.
it was a weird time because
Yeah,
there was
no,
only
yeah.
one lane, but there were still underground cats making that music that we love, but
Right.
it just wasn't getting played. But now it just seems like it's like an explosion. Since I've been on the radio since 2010,
Okay.
and it's just been an explosion of new artists. You have Rock Marciano, you like Sean Price.
Griselda.
Grizel, rest in peace to Sean Price because him and Rock Marciano kind of orchestrated that whole new
I
wave.
agree. I feel like they were the most consistent out of everybody.
Yeah,
they were.
You know what? I want to say too. I think Planet Asia, too.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to give
Absolutely.
him his respect. He kept bringing that type of sound as well.
Hey, look, man, real quick, a Planet Asia, like Durag Dynasty, I loved that album.
Oh, okay. All right.
Album was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, if this is what I expect out of Planet Asia and Alchemist, I'm all on board, man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But give me your thoughts on the state of hip hop right now.
Yeah, well, I feel like I think I've said this in other interviews, but I feel like it's kind of a renaissance. Like a lot of stuff is coming back, and I think everyone gravitating towards the Griselda sound was a positive thing for hip hop.
Right.
I feel like everyone kind of got back into making, whether or not they're dark beats or whatever, they're hip hop beats, and I feel like people they started getting their bars up. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like. The battle scene was always, stayed on a certain level, but music wise, shit dips. And I feel like due to the Griselda sound of Rock Marciano, Planet Asia, and Sean Price, rest in peace, like they were able to continue this sort of stream, or even I would say terminology. They were able to keep this certain stream of really dope, real hip hop, and it's like it came back around. You know what I mean? It's like it became underground again. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of brought it back. Like I said earlier, not quite the way it was, but hey, man, I'll take some of it rather than none of it.
I'm gonna tell you who you have to also credit to, being an MC and then being a producer, Little Fame.
Oh,
yeah, of course. Boy, that's why we got him on the
Absolutely.
Because
I mean, because I remember when I very first started the radio show in 2010. It was still MOP, but Little Fame was featured on a ton of music and his production. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't know he was a producer. So, you got to credit Little Fame too also. But, so Grip, like give me your thoughts on the state of hip hop right now as a producer, the producer side.
You know what? I think when you're in it, and I think it's, I love that podcast came around because it seems like there's a lot more avenues for real hip hop to be shared and exposed, and a lot of producers are getting a lot of play. But the producers like our core five, our core, like the Primos and Pete Rocks, Large Professors, they've never stopped.
No.
So us always being into that, I feel like we've got good stuff almost every year from them. You know what I mean? Their features have changed. Maybe they're not producing for Gangstar anymore, but there was a lot of things that, Primo got on people's albums and did singles for features, and he killed them. You know,
Yeah.
Large Pro working with
Yassine
Bey right now. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Alchemist working with Yassine Bey. Like that's all great for hip hop.
Yeah.
It's fabulous, man.
You know, you got the Mad Libs that came out. You know, everybody that Dilla was involved with. You know, like there was a lot of people. Dilla kept it going for a long time. You know,
Even
absolutely
influences.
You know,
so how can people get in contact with you guys, and how can people support this album, and where, like, what platforms could they go out and support this? And do you have a website?
So we don't have a website right now. Right now we're doing everything through. I go through my IG, through my Instagram, Rip Grand Official, and also Hip Hop Duality helps me with my promotions, so people can go through Hip Hop Duality also. They have a website, hiphopduality.com, and we have a page on there, so people can contact us through there. On the platforms, it's YouTube Music, it's Amazon Music, Pandora, and SoundCloud. It will be on Bandcamp probably by the end of this week.
Okay.
But for some reason, we're getting
some
pushback with iTunes and Spotify.
Why? Why do you?
I have no clue. We've released singles on there.
Yeah.
The same singles that are on the album had no problem. Yeah. But for some reason they're not putting our album up. So I'm gonna have to look through some other means of getting it on there. But it will be on there.
Okay. So a wish list of producers and MCs on the because there's going to be a next album, correct? But we're trying to promote this album very heavy. But in the future, if you guys had a wish list of MCs or producers or DJs to be on your next project, who would it be?
You want me to go?
Yeah.
You Black Thought, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, you know, how can you not say Black? To me, he's the modern day Rakim. You know, Rakim. I would say obviously Pharaoh. Oh man, you know what?
Maybe Talib or somebody.
Talib would be nice. Tragedy.
How great is that Rakim, like you see, like the older veteran, the veteran MCs putting out albums. You had Stetsasonic, you had Rakim, you had LL Cool J. I mean, these guys put out MC Light. They put out solid albums. So like, how does that give you guys more energy just to put out more great music? Like when you see like the legends are still making good music.
Of course. I mean, it's inspirational. How can it not be? If you're a hip hop head and LL comes out with an album and there's some dope shit on it, it's like, yeah, like fuck yeah, bro. Like, yo, that's my shit. Yeah?
Especially because everybody tried to put an age limit on hip hop.
Thank you.
And in no genre is there an age limit.
Yeah, this was classic rock. No one cares.
We'll be touring in Germany when we're like 70. You know what I mean? Like, you know, some cats, they just want you to stop when you're 19. And I'm sorry, like people like KRS and Rakim and Big Daddy Kane, they show you different. They show you there is no age limit to it. They're still pushing, you know, so.
Everyone should keep pushing.
You know what I think actually changed everything? When hip hop turned 50 years old and they actually had the legends come out and perform. And I think some of the younger audience never seen them perform, and they saw the reaction that these guys were getting, and they saw the showmanship in their shows. And I think it actually changed a lot of people's minds. Like, wait a minute. These guys can still spit. So, and they're great showmen. So, I mean, I think when the 50th anniversary came around a few years ago, I think that changed a lot of, you guys should start rapping at a certain age, because Cool G rap is probably one of the illest dudes out there, and and he does all these features, and it's super
Kills
crazy.
every one of those features.
Kills every one of them.
Yeah.
Kills every one of them. But I want to thank you guys for coming on, man, because I love the album. Please go out and support this. But I want to start with you, Grip. If I say Supreme, what's the first thing that comes into your mind?
Finally. Finally. Like, as much as other people have been waiting for this album, we've been waiting for this album. You know, perfect timing for us.
What about you, Dose?
Skills.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
like
we feel like we're showcasing our skill, our capability, our talent.
And you know what the great thing about this, like you guys are dropping this project right now. Springtime is coming. Springtime follows the summertime. So like, are you guys going to gear up to do like a lot of shows and where can we, and are you going to have visuals with the project also? Because I know you have like 2 videos out. I might be wrong, but I did
got
see
a few videos out. No, we're definitely shooting more. We're working on that right now. But there'll definitely be more visuals.
So what we're aiming for is trying to get some visuals for Kings.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe better recognized. So
and Wolves.
Yeah. So we're working on that, and then we're gonna be doing a couple little live streaming. I wouldn't say shows, but little sessions.
That is so dope. That's dope, bro.
That'll be starting April 27th. Peace to Graph Roots. They have it's a graffiti store in downtown LA.
Word.
Yeah, and we'll be rocking out there in the middle of the street right there. So
shout out to Graph Roots. I'm rocking the Graph Roots hat.
Yeah.
Right
also, I just want to bring one thing back. You said if you wanted to hear anybody, I want to send a special shout out to Expertise out in Canada.
Yeah, shout out to Expertise.
He was on the album
and really dope on infrared. That's why we had him go first.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Expertise a pro.
Shit. Yeah.
No, that's what's up. Now, Grip, what is your favorite song on the album and why?
Oh man, I love them all for different reasons. I'll be honest. Kings is one of my favorites. But when I hear Fire, I love the joint Fire. When I started making beats, I would play like Fame acapellas over my shit. You know what I mean? And to hear them, come off on that joint is just super dope. And By Any Means, I love By Any Means. I like the feel of that.
Now, Dose, what is your favorite song on the album?
It has to be kind of the same thing between it has to be between Kings and Fire because Fire because there's the sheer energy of it, and then I wrote the hook, and to hear MOP spitting my hook, that's like something special to me. You know what I mean? I can't describe that feeling. You know what I mean? It was just like, wow, like, yo, Little Fame and Billy Danze are spitting my hook. You know what I mean? And it sounds like something they would do. And that just that meant a lot to me.
And respect, I can't get past.
Yeah,
respect.
I mean, to hear KRS on a record that we got, it's still crazy to hear our voices overlap in the beginning. But Kings was just because constructing Kings and not knowing how it would really come out, and it lived up to the expectations for us.
Yes.
What did when you presented Jerry with the album, and he said, "Hey, look, we got a project. It's called Supreme. We want to see if you can push this." What was his reaction when he heard the album and he got back to you? Like, what was his final reaction to it? Because I mean, when I heard it, like I said, emoji fires just went across the top. I didn't have to say anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To be honest with you, so when Dose and Dios had contacted Jerry, we had used Jerry when we released the KRS single, Respect, and we did the video. So we had worked with Jerry before, and he works hard, bro. Like he puts
he
does.
Shout out to Jerry.
Yeah. And so we knew when we were coming out with the album, we were gonna definitely try to use his services.
And then I think he knew what we were about already. You know what I mean?
And then he after I thanked him for his hard work, and he put just keep up putting out that fire. So I'm guessing he feels it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he feels it. I think he feels it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
We're hoping he does.
Yeah, you know. Hey, look, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Hopefully during like you have some tour dates, some spot dates, and you could come out to the East Coast so people can come out and check you out, man, because you know, I co-signed this album, man. This album is incredible. You know, it's right up our alley. You know, if you love the culture of hip hop, these guys embody the culture of hip hop, and you know they don't take no shorts.
Right.
The production's on point, the collaborations on point, the lyrics are, I mean, this whole album is solid. So, and if you know, if I play, look, not even just me, you know, Premier's playing it, Chuck D bigs it up, you know. So I mean, like, these are some official guys that co-sign Grand Official. That's kind of play on words, but you know what I mean. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you guys coming on, and you know, anytime that you want to promote something, when you do that live stream, please let me know so I could tune in, and then I could you know, help promote that also. And like I said, big up to Jerry, and big up to DJ Hallucinate out there. I know he couldn't be on the interview, but you know, brother, your cuts are incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, so
shout out to DJ Hallucinate,
100%.
that's what's up. You guys get any shout outs before we get out of here?
Yeah, shout out to Reagan Era. Reagan Era. I mean, that's like family to us. You know what I mean? Fast shout out to them. Fast shout out to Chamber Music. Yeah. You know, Ominous.
Renee, Soulfly.
Soulfly.
A big part of the constructing the album also. Expertise.
Yeah.
All the Reagan Era cats.
Jay Muna, Fiend, Add Life, A1.
Earn One. Neto Braggs.
Yeah. And Hip Hop Duality.
Yeah, Hip Hop Duality, definitely. Yeah. And Jerry.
Hey, look,
Jerry.
Yeah.
And look, shout out to you guys, man, because like you guys, I could tell that you took this album very serious, and
yes, sir.
You know, and there's no skips. Absolutely no skips.
Yeah, that means a lot, man. That means a lot. For real.
You know what I mean? And anybody knows, especially in hip hop, when they say no skips, that means that it's a good album.
Yeah, it's certified. Okay, all right.
So bros is no skips. Trust me.
Thank you, brother.
But yeah, but I want to thank you guys for coming on, and just let me know. Oh, before we go, give me in contact with Reagan Era so I can start playing their music also, and tell those guys, you know, I'm fully on board of what they're doing, and I'm going to support them on the East Coast, man.
Nice. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate that.
All right, man. You guys have a good night, okay?
All right, you too. Respect.
All right, thank you. And that is it, man. Shout out to Dose and Grip. DJ Hallucinate, he wasn't on the interview, but you know, they make a Grand Official. Please go out and support that album right now. Man, it is such a dope album, man. I'm telling you, you know, you're not going to be disappointed. And this is just how we're doing it. Shout out to Jerry once again for putting this all together. And there are going to be more interviews like this. I think the next one, I think the group is called the Hairline Brothers, which is absolutely crazy. And you know who the Hairline Brothers is. So stay tuned for that. Sabi Radio on every Sunday, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. on WPRB 103.3 FM. And I'm on 98.5 FM Splash Under the Boardwalk, Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Hey, look, man, it's nothing but hip hop, man. This is how we doing it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
That's that boom bap killer supreme.